Hey, it's Tim, and today we're doing a little adventure road trip. I love history stuff, and so I've been doing some research and some study on some history of the San Diego area and different things in the area, and, well, we are taking a little road trip today. San Diego is in the bottom southwest corner of the United States, a very teeny, tippy corner. There's nothing south except Mexico, and there's nothing west except ocean. So we're in the corner, the bottom corner. So back in like the early days, like before 1850, getting stuff to San Diego meant it had to come from the north, Los Angeles, or over the seas. You could ship things, but anything coming from the east was almost impossible because of this mountain range, which is not very high, but it is very rugged and rocky, and it's just almost impassable, except on horseback and trails. But you couldn't get a wagon, anything from the east. Sometime around 1856, a army colonel and a battalion of troops blazed their way from San Diego to the east. The reason they wanted to get the path opened up was for shipping and things like that. You couldn't bring anything, so people that were shipping commerce and products and things like that, when they would come from the east, they would hit the mountains that are east of San Diego, and you couldn't get up and over them. It was too rugged and too yucky. It was yucky. It was steep, and you're going to see some of that here in a little bit. So anyway, the highway system built US Highway 80 that went from San Diego and it went all the way to Yuma. And we are on a portion of that highway right now as we're traveling from San Diego east to the top of this escarpment where it drops down into the desert. And right now we're on the new interstate, which, well, it's not new now. It was started in the 50s and finished in the 70s. This is US Interstate 8. And before it used to be called US Highway. We are almost to the point we're going to take a look at. We've got a lot of cool things today. We're going to go look at some really cool things, and it's going to be fun. All right, we're almost there. Okay, we just turned off the main highway onto an old section of the road. This is the old Highway 80, built in the 1920s. I think it used to be concrete, and they've made it with asphalt. These roads don't get repaired much. See, now we're on the concrete. This is the old Highway 80. This looks like it must be an old gas station or something. Take a look at these old structures from the olden days. This looks like it was some kind of old, maybe a gas station or a restaurant, a place to stop and eat on the road. Right up here, over my left shoulder, we're in the mountains right now, you can see, but right over here where you can almost, you can't tell, but the mountains drop into the desert in a super steep, rocky section where it was almost impenetrable. So by the time you got up to the top of this hill in the old days, like in the 20s or 30s, in your Model T or whatever, you were exhausted. Maybe you needed gas, maybe you needed water, some kind of rest or a break because it was so stressful. So there's a few of these old buildings up here still that probably served as some kind of place to get something to drink or to get out and go to the bathroom or let the dog run around. But let's go take a look. This is kind of creepy looking. We're gonna go right inside this. We're gonna go inside. Should we go in? Let's go check it out. Whew. Yeah, it's kind of creepy and haunted looking. I'm glad the sun's out. But anyway, you can see that it's old and worn down. Actually, it looks like it was maybe an old garage or something, like where you could pull up and your car was overheating or your tires were wasted or whatever from coming up the grade out of the desert. And you could pull in here because these doors look like they used to open and they're metal. Actually, what if they're not very old at all and this thing's only like 20 years old and it just caught on fire? No, I think it's really old. All right, That's pretty scary. I think over here is where they used to have the bathroom. It wasn't part of the main structure. Let's go take a look. Yes, this is definitely an old bathroom. I wonder what happened to the men's and women's signs. They're gone. Yeah, this wasn't on the plan for today. This isn't what we actually came here to see, so we're gonna move on to our next thing. I see more amazing attractions. Would you take a look at this? Flying saucers. No way. And there's more up ahead. Let's see what we got. Hi. Look at these flying saucers and stuff. How's it going?
What do you want?
I'm checking out your stuff.
Oh.
It looks amazing.
Oh, thanks. Hey,
What?
do you think of the Space Command flying saucer tank?
Right there.
Right here.
Let me see. That's awesome.
What do you think?
I think it's cool. Are you building it?
Yeah, it's got a plasma cannon.
Plasma cannon. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Right on.
It shoots high energy plasma. Vaporize you in the cigarette smoke in a second.
That's amazing. That's cool.
We're using that to protect the Earth from, asteroids and such.
Okay, so we just came down the road a little bit further from Coyote's place, which is right down there. And right up here where the road kind of starts to bend, you can see this is the old highway coming up the road right here. Old Highway 80 that used to come up out of the desert. And the new highway is just over my shoulder over here. Watch. You can go ripping by. That is the new highway. And it looks like... All right, just up the road a little bit here is a great piece of highway history. And it's called the Desert View Tower. Let's take a look. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I hope it's open. Can't believe it's open and it's still here. We used to bring our kids here when they were younger, and it was just a fun spot to get out and mess around and get out of the car. But from right here, you can see right over the desert. It's amazing. Let's go look at some more of the history. So the long tower that you see, the tall tower part in the center, was built in the 1920s, and then sometime around the 1950s, it was purchased by a family who lived up here in the mountains, and they wanted to make it a roadside attraction and a place to stop and rest for weary travelers coming up out of the desert, probably coming from Yuma. They've been across the desert, and this is the first place where there's cool weather to stop and get something to eat, something to drink, look at souvenirs, purchase souvenirs. And so they built this bottom donut piece here on the bottom right here, which served as a gift shop, and that was like in the 1950s. So this thing's been here forever. So just after I told you that Army colonel blazed a way through here to get down to the bottom of the desert, around the late 1860s to the 1870s, a store was constructed. It was more of a place where you could rent ox teams to pull your wagon up the hill. It was so steep, something like a 30% grade coming up out of the desert right here. And you had to rent like a team of oxen. Wow, it was amazing. You had to rent a team of oxen to drag your stuff up the hill. It was so far, and it's so steep. Oops. You know, I did that thing where you get out of the car and start walking to the thing, and you realize you forgot your mask. So I had to go back and get it. All right, here we go. Let's go see if it's open. Climb the tower and explore the Boulder Park. Take a gander at our great gift shop. Look at this. This is super amazing. There's me in the door. Oh, they're closed. What a bummer. But we can check it out from the outside. Take a look at this old sink. Let's do a roundy round. So like I said, this outside part, the donut around the bottom, was built in the 50s as a gift shop. Look at this, there's an old anvil and some sculptures. All right, fantastic. It looks like people live here. This building down here's got solar panels all over it. Oh, look at the swing set with propane tanks hanging on it and oxygen tanks. This is something else. And there's birds. Let's cruise around to the front. Oh, I see some petroglyphs. And you can see here the inside of the tower. This is an amazing, amazing place to get a good view of the desert. There's a rabbit. I think you might have missed it. Anyway, look at that. Let's take a look at these petroglyphs on the side of the building. Probably, no doubt, carved by ancient people or some guy a couple weeks ago. These drawings, I hear a rooster. Look at this, Department of Education, San Diego County Audio Visual Service. There's some sticks. It's kind of a bummer that we can't go inside and climb the tower, but I think it's probably closed because it needs repair and stuff like that. But at any rate, the gate was open, and last time I was here, we couldn't come in because the gate was locked. Let's take a look around here some more. Take a look at these views. Take a look at the place. Wow, it's amazing. You can see I don't know if I'm supposed to be walking around here. Somebody's probably going to yell at me, but I mean, this thing is built up on the top of the cliff where it drops into the desert. Like, it's amazing that it's been here for so long and it's still here, and it's got air conditioning right there. It's beautiful. It's old, and you can take a look at this brickwork that they used to do back in the day. That's actually cement. That's some good stuff. All right. Okay, we're heading up into the Boulder Park. This is the coolest thing. Okay. Donations. Let's do that. All right. Okay, look at, there's a turtle. So the story here is that in the 1930s, during the Great Depression, there was a guy who was an engineer. Look at this guy. He was an engineer and he lived up here in the mountains. And because of the times being as tough as they were, oh my goodness, look at the size of this snake. And some bison. There was a guy, he was an engineer. Now, I don't know if he was a train engineer or like a water engineer or a building engineer, but he needed to make money. So they paid him $1 a sculpture to come up here and carve these things. I don't know what he did it with, out of the sandstone. And then maybe they painted it or somebody else painted it. But it's called the Boulder Park. It's right here next to the Desert View Tower. And there's all these carvings and statues and stuff. Let's go in here and check it out. Look at this guy. Look at this guy here. You can see that it's pretty tight to come through here. I gotta duck my head down as we go through and look at the sculptures. Look at this here. Take a look at this guy's bloodshot eye. I don't know what happened to him. There's a bunch of eyes in here. Ooh, look at this. This is creepy. Eyes see you. And there's eyes everywhere. I don't know if I feel very safe and comfortable in here. Let's take a look at this one over here. Look at that. Eyes. It says, I see you. I don't know. I'm feeling pretty weird and claustrophobic in this cave tunnel thing. But we're going to keep going. I don't know where this leads. But let's keep going through. We're going through the sun. Oh, Lordy. I'm a bit frightened. Not really. Not really, but it's pretty cool. Okay, now that might be the end of that section. We gotta go back. I think this is the end of this section of it. Yeah. Look, there used to be a fence right there. Here's a great view as we come out. Oh, we're going up there. Look, there's some eyes up on the rock up there. We're going up there. Let's see how to get there. Wow. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, take a look. Would you look at this Indian head? That is amazing. There's my shadow. This is super amazing. Take a look at this guy right here. You know, it looks kind of like Bert on Sesame Street. It does. It looks a little bit like Bert. Take a look at this down the cave right here. We're going down there. These caves. This is amazing. I love this stuff. Crawling through these caves. Take a look at this tree growing right up out of the rocks. It looks like there's more up here. I think it's super amazing and wonderful that this stuff was done in the 1930s, and here we are in 2021, and they're still here. It's almost been 100 years, and they've been preserved and kept, well, all by private ownership and private donation and things like that. This is really a cool place to come and check out all the carvings and the tower and all kinds of stuff and the history. Here is a weird, take a look at this. Weird red water kind of puddled up in the rock here. Let's keep going. We're going to go a little further. I don't know what else is here, but we got to crawl up on these rocks here. Look at this, a beautiful tree. That is a beautiful tree. I love that. Just sticking up out of the rocks right there. It almost looks like a tree from the, you know, in the Sierras and stuff. Doesn't look like it belongs here. Let's keep going up the hill here. There's that Indian head down there. Whoa, look at this. It's a skull. That's cool. And somebody was kind enough to build us stairs. We're gonna go up them. Take a look at that skull. That is so cool. Now, ooh, dude, there's even more caves down here. Let's go down here. Look at this. Whoa! I've never been this far. Let's see how far into this cave we can go. All right, we're gonna go down into this deep, gnarly cave by this guy's teeth. Oh, it looks like he's been brushing. That looks nice. Except he's got some red gums. He might need some floss. Let's go down in here. This is kind of spooky, spooky, kooky. Oh, I'm glad I didn't eat a lot of breakfast because I'm barely fitting through here. Whoa, whoa, you got to see this. Take a look at this. There's no, I came through there, right there, and now I'm going through here. This is like Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. Wow, look at this. I guess like the wind carves all this out of here. It's amazing. It'd be cooler if it was raining. Take a look at this rock. There's like a giant hole in the bottom of the rock that's been carved out. Wow. Wow. Can you imagine? It's like 1950. You're in your dad's Studebaker in the back seat. There's no air conditioning. You're driving across the desert from Yuma or from wherever, the East Coast or whatever, and you're coming through here and you come up this huge hill that takes hours and your dad's yelling at you and you want to be comfortable and lay down in the back seat, but you can't. It's just too hot. And you climb out of the desert on this super steep, terrible road. You see cars broken down. You see people filling up their radiators there's various radiator fill stops along the highway when you come up the hill. And you get to the top and it's 20 degrees, 30 degrees cooler because you just climbed to 4,000 feet and there's a roadside attraction. It's a giant tower. There's some stores and a place to get a cup of hot chocolate or whatever. And you get off and you find that they have this Boulder Park and you jump out of the car and you come running over here and you pay your 50 cents donation and you come running in here and it's so amazing. This is the coolest thing when you're on road trip with your family and you get to stop and pull over and check out the sights, the junk along the road. This is the greatest. I love it. Anyway, these caves are so awesome. We're going to keep going and we got some more things to see today. So let's keep crawling out of these caves into the sunlight. I feel like I'm in an old 50s, maybe 1850s novel by Mark Twain. Now I'm lost and I can't get out. I'm probably gonna have to crawl out through these holes. All right, here we go. Wow. Okay, we made it out of that last cave. Now I gotta figure out how to get out of here. I'm a little bit turned around. I gotta squeeze through these rocks. Take a look at this that I didn't see. There's a dog. And an alligator. Well, I think I found the exit. Here we go. Yeah, we're back to the Indian guy. You know what? Take a look at the detail on the painting on his headdress. That's amazing. I applaud the people that are working on this and keeping it up. You know, it's pretty cool that people keep this stuff up. And like I said earlier, it's all private. There's no other funding other than private donations. And I don't think it's much. All right, we are heading back out the caves, going down these stairs. Watch where you're going. Don't wipe out and hit your face on the rocks. Well, let's go see what else we find. All right, one last look at the Desert View Tower. Goodbye, Desert View Tower. Okay, so we left the Desert View Tower. I came down the grade about halfway to the exit called Mountain Springs. And right here where I'm standing, you can see sections of the old concrete road that was built, I think, in the 20s. here's a section of the old concrete road that came down. It says private property, so we're not going to go in there, but we just want to take a look at the old section of concrete road that came right through here, and it started to go up the mountain, and you can see the new highway going across the mountain up there, all the way across up there, and behind that hill right there, you can't see it. Where is it? The Desert View. Oh, you can barely see the Desert View Tower way at the top of it. I'm gonna grip my other camera and show you that. But you can see the Desert View Tower just peering up over the top of that. And you come down and there's some settlements down here, people living down here. But the concrete road right here comes through here, goes across here, like straight ahead. There's my truck, and it goes straight across right here. You can see how the old concrete road is right here, and it dives right into the highway, the new interstate, which is just on the other side of that windbreak fence. It gets real windy down here. And this is where, if you're done with any clothing or any clothes or junk you don't want anymore, you can just throw it out. But anyway, look at this, is great. You can see I'm walking right now on the old highway. It was concrete. This concrete right here was built 100 years ago. It was installed. This was the road you drove on. This is amazing. And it dives right into the new Interstate 8. Hey, another cool thing I wanted to show you is just about a mile down the road. You can see how close we are to the US-Mexico border. You can see the fence right there going across. We are like 200 yards from the US-Mexico border. There's a fence right there. Doesn't look much like a wall really, but it's a fence about 20 foot high maybe. It's pretty good size. There's an airstrip right here, and you can also see how the wall goes up and over that mountain, or the fence goes up and over that mountain. It's pretty cool. I just wanted to show you how close we were to the US-Mexico border. And now they say do not stop your car on this section of road. So we are gonna get moving to our next exciting adventure for the day. Well, there's something you don't see every day. A Huey helicopter, I think that's a Huey, on top of the Chevron gas pumps. America. All right, our next journey takes us down this dirt road. All right, so here's our next part of our little adventure today. It requires that we take a little walk, kind of across this sketchy, whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm gonna kind of walk on the railroad tracks right here. So anyway, I don't know, it's not very far. This creepy thing about this is that I'm by myself. And I've done this before with some other people where you go out, well, I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but we're gonna go out and check out this really cool old piece of history out along these railroad tracks. Now, further down these tracks, further than we're gonna go, there's a series of tunnels and a series of bridges that used to take, this was another route. I don't know when this was built. This railroad was built sometime in the, let me see if I remember, the 20s or 30s. And this was another method or another path to get down to the desert. They're building roads and they're trying to haul freight up and down out of the desert. And it goes through the Chorizo Gorge, and there's a famous trestle. It's the largest wooden trestle that's still standing, but the railroad is closed. You can't, I know I've seen some videos of them taking railroad cars down here to go pick up stuff, but the railroad is actually closed, and they don't use it anymore. So anyway, a few years ago, we got a bunch of people together and we hiked back to the bridge. Now I've been back there twice, and since then they've made it, I think it always was illegal. Now it's really illegal. So if you go back in there now and you get busted, you can get in a lot of trouble. So anyway, what we're gonna go back and see is a piece of history. For some reason, well, I'm not gonna tell you what it is until we get there. So let's journey on, not too far, down these railroad tracks. Anyway, so we're walking along, we're almost there. We are going to check out a piece of history, and I kind of think we're not going to spend a lot of time here because we're not supposed to be here. I think it could be Well, maybe trespassing, I don't know. But just right up here, you're gonna see something super, super amazing from history. And I'm excited. Okay, now we are coming up to a switch track. It's pretty old. Now remember, this is all abandoned and stuff. But here's a switch track that would switch the train from going that way to going that way. All right. And wow, take a look at this. They're here still. These old, creepy, scary railroad cars. Now these are some old passenger cars from I don't know when. They're really not that old, but it's a piece of history to come out and see these railroad cars that have just been pushed off the siding right here. And for why, I don't know. They just pushed them over here and decided not to use them anymore. But somebody has come out with their paint, their artistry work, and painted the sides of these cars. Would you take a look at this? You know, it's really scary looking, actually. But what's really amazing is that somebody came out here and literally set up ladders or scaffolding or whatever to paint these cars. And I don't know how long they've been sitting here, but here they are. There's all kinds of stuff plastered and glued onto the cars. And you know, like I said a minute ago, it is super quiet, kind of scary. Just has a creepy vibe, but it's really cool. Now, the trash kind of sucks, that there's trash everywhere, but it's not really like a, you know, this isn't really a tourist attraction. This is just kind of one of those secret things that it's back behind the hills that people don't always get to come and see. Like they don't charge admission or anything. Take a look at that. An old seat cushion. I wonder if they wanted to, if they could actually like hook up and pull these things away and take them where they need to take them, like to the trash or something. I don't really know. There's a bunch of timbers right here. Some old bridge, probably from working on the bridges. But if you look, these are old railroad cars. I think it's amazing that somebody actually came up here or came all the way out here and walked down the railroad tracks with a bunch of spray paint and ladders and all that stuff just to write on here, just to do their artwork. And I don't know what any of it says. Look at that. That one's brand new. 2021. Ha! Atonement. There's a Christian word for us. Take a look at this. This is creepy. I'm getting kind of scared. So back here, we're going to walk to the far end over here. Look at this. You know, I don't know how old these really are. They're still like fabric. Like the boot right here that would join the car. Oh, it's like it's like the boot that would join the cars together. And ooh, look in there. This is creepy. In a minute, we're going to have to walk through there. Look at that. Scary, creepy stuff. Take a look at this old bridge right here. So like I said, a few years ago, we kept walking on the tracks there. And it goes I think it was about a 7-mile hike. Where we hiked all the way back to this giant trestle bridge. I'm going to show you some of that in this video. I've got some good video of that. We hiked all the way back to this giant trestle bridge. It's the largest trestle bridge, I think, in the United States that's still standing. It's the deepest or the longest or something like that. And in San Diego, we've got a model railroad club down in Boulder Park. And it's a museum, and you can go down there. It's underground. Well, not underground like secret, but it's underground like down the stairs. And you can go down there and pay admission. And they've got all these amazing railroad, model railroad setups and stuff. It's so cool. And they've got a huge mock-up of kind of San Diego and the East County of San Diego. And they've got like a whole, somebody built this bridge, and it's a mock-up of the Chorizo Gorge Bridge in, I think it's HO scale, if you know anything about model railroading. And it is super amazing because it's supposed to be exactly scaled properly. So anyway, I'm coming in. I'm coming inside. So this is one of those double deckers. See, there's seats up here, and you could sit on the top or sit on the bottom, but I don't think they had all this spray paint and stuff in here then. Look, there's a toilet right there, I think. Let's see. Yeah, there's a toilet in here still. You can go potty. Yeah, here we go through here. I'm really surprised that there's nothing like dead in here. It doesn't smell bad. There's nothing creepy in here. But look, there's some wiring. This needs to be fixed. I know I have to find an electrician to fix that. But it's pretty cool. It's just quiet. It's peaceful. You know, that's another thing about stuff from the history, is if it's super quiet, sometimes it's peaceful, and it's a little bit scary, but it's kind of like, I don't know, there's a peace about it. Almost kind of like you don't want to disturb it. Let's listen to the quiet for a second. Yeah, it's really kind of cool. I dig it. I think we're so loud with our lives right now. These things are so loud. You know what? Let's go up. What's that say? R.I.P. Oh, that sucks. All right, somebody died. Okay, whatever. Let's go. I kind of want to go up there and try. So let's go up these stairs right here. Look at that. You can still go up here. So you could sit up here too and look out the high windows. Kind of creepy though. What if you fell? Anyway, there is writing everywhere. It's not nice writing necessarily, but there is writing everywhere. All right, let's go down. Ooh, it's hard to turn around. I can't turn around. Okay, there we go. Anyway, here we go, down the stairs. We're gonna finish walking through right here. We got the door is stuck. So I don't know if I can get through here. Nope, it's not gonna open. See that? And I got a backpack on. So we're gonna go outside. Here we go. That was pretty awesome. Checking out a piece of history. Now I don't know how old these trains are, like I said, and I don't know how long they've been here. They're really not that old. Maybe like 70s or 80s. But it's pretty crazy that they're just sitting here abandoned. But kind of cool to check out. But like I said, I don't think we're supposed to be here. So we're gonna keep going. We're gonna head out. I'm gonna have a snack because I brought some food. I'm gonna sit down over here somewhere and have a little snack before I walk back to the truck and bid everyone adieu to the end of the adventure today. All right. All right, goodbye trains, goodbye my trains. That was pretty awesome. I like the spooky, creepy old trains. Well, now we are gonna make the short walk back to the truck because that is kind of the end of today's adventure. Not kind of, it is actually the end of today's adventure. But first, we have to walk back. You know, I really like trains. Trains are the neatest thing. I love old-fashioned trains. So here I go, walking down the train tracks back to the truck. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video and adventure. I had fun going to these places and seeing stuff and showing it all to you. So anyway, that is it for today. Okay, that's the end of the video. See you later, bye.